Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 50 Plus Club. My name is Sean, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 things I like and 5 things I dislike about living in Atlanta. So, we're going to start with number 1. If you see me looking down, it's because I wrote some notes. But I'm going to start with the things that I like, starting with number 1. There's plenty to do in Atlanta. Plenty to do. I mean, if you want to go roller skating, even if you want to skydive, they have this place where you go in and it fills up with air and you can skydive. There is the Georgia Aquarium. There is the World of Coke. There's Little Five Points. There's just plenty to do here. You won't be bored. Now, it's going to cost you, but there's still plenty to do. Excellent place to visit. Number 2, things that I like is I like the diversity that's here. You can be gay or straight. Everything is gay friendly, which I've explained before that I'm about that life. So there's diversity in that area, as well as it's predominantly black, but there's white people and there's Mexican and other nationalities, along with those types of foods. So, if you want to eat some soul food, there's African American restaurants here. If you want to eat Mexican food, Chinese, it's a melting pot. I do like that. Me personally, I don't want to live somewhere where it's all white people, and I don't want to live somewhere where it's all black people. So I like the diversity. Number 3, things that I like is the weather. I'm from Michigan, and a lot of people think that it's just always freezing in Michigan. That is not so. The winters are long, and it's cold a lot longer than down here, but it does get hot up there. Now down here, they have winter and it gets cold, but it's not as long. For instance, like today, I think that it's going to be like 60, and we're talking, this is the end of December that I'm shooting this, end of December 2024. Now, it will go back to being cold, but I appreciate these warm days like this where I might have to wear a jacket or I could take the jacket off. If I'm in Michigan, it's going to be freezing. If it's no snow on the ground, it's still going to be cold. And it's not going to be like 50 and 60 degrees on a regular basis until probably the end of April. It'll stay in the 50s or 60s or even 70s by February here. So I love that. I love the warmer weather, the warmer climate. Number 4, things that I like. There's a place in Little Five Points called Moods Music. And shout out to Daryl. He owns the place. I absolutely love that place. I have been to many record stores all over the country, actually. But Moods Music has everything that caters to me, everything that I love. So those that know me know I love neo soul. He's got all the neo soul, including new stuff or stuff that came from overseas. Everybody knows that I'm old school hip hop. So all the old school hip hop movies and music, it can be a DVD, a CD, or even vinyl. So he's got me covered on the music aspect, as well as he has things that are for spirituality in there. And he also has things for my culture and my roots, which is a lot of things that are African. So shout out, Daryl. You did your thing with that spot. I've never experienced anything like that. I've been going for years. So Moods Music and Little Five Points, Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, number 5. Things that I like about Atlanta. I love the fact that because I love music, all the artists come to Atlanta. without even second guessing it. I guarantee you, anybody that goes on tour is going to come through Atlanta. So I love that. I never have to worry about driving to Charlotte or somewhere, a few hours away or anything like that. Everybody's going to come to Atlanta. So yeah, man. Yeah. I appreciate that. Okay. Now, the ugly truth about things that I do not like about Atlanta. Number one, traffic and how they drive. So, those of you that have come here for vacation, or maybe you're a truck driver and you drive through here, you will realize that at certain times, it's going to take you an hour and a half to go 22 miles. It is totally ridiculous. Atlanta is overcrowded, and they have not kept up with the growth of the city. And I'll expand on that a little bit more on one of my dislikes. But the traffic is horrendous. And the way they drive is ridiculous. Like, they will be on a side street getting ready to turn into traffic, and nobody's coming. Nobody's coming. They have more than enough time to go ahead and merge into traffic. They will wait until you get right up close to them, and then they'll speed off in front of you. They do a bunch of stupid stuff that's backwards to me. Like, it makes no sense. They have no flow, no idea of what flow is. It's almost like they feel more comfortable driving in packs and doing what shouldn't be. It's backwards. They probably can't see it because they're from here and this is how they always drive. But I'm a truck driver. I've driven all across the country, and nobody drives like this but them. And there's larger cities. There's large cities like Chicago and Detroit, LA, close to New York. Nobody drives like they drive here. Stupid stuff. Or they'll go under the speed limit. And then when you decide that you want to go past them, now all of a sudden they want to drive fast. So they'll speed up and get in front of you. And then they'll slow back down. So it's stuff like that irks me. Or they'll be sitting there with the playing with their phone. Or, here's a good one. If you can be on the expressway, 5 lanes. If the police has somebody pulled over to the right, why is the 4th and 5th lane to the left not moving? Why? Everybody's so nosy to see, who got pulled over? What color is their car? Are they black and white? What does their facial expression look like? It seems like that's what they're trying to determine. Man, go. And nobody holds them accountable. There's nobody honking no horn. I've been here for 10 years, and that is still a culture shock to me. It's like, why are y'all, what is going on here? So it's behavior like that helps to back up traffic. You got millions of people here. You need to keep it moving. And I don't think they grasp that concept yet. It'll probably be another 20 years before they get it. But you need to keep it moving. You need to keep going. There's no time. As a matter of fact, in some places, you will actually get a ticket. It's called rubbernecking. We call it rubbernecking. You'll get a ticket for obstruction of traffic because the speed limit is 65 or 70 and you're going 55 because you're trying to see what's going on. That don't even concern you. You're not going to know the person if you see them again. It's just ridiculous. The traffic here, I hate it. Or last example. You're driving down the highway, 5-6 lanes, and you say you're on 75 and the exit for 20 is coming up. Everybody will stay back for 5 or 10 miles. And then soon as the 2 miles to the exit, everybody starts speeding up and cutting over from the 4th lane over. They're darting and cutting people off. And now everybody got to hit on brakes. If you just keep the same flow, everything will be smooth. I don't even think they know that. I don't think they realize that. They feel like, oh, let me hurry up. You don't have to do that. Just keep driving. It'll be smooth. I promise you. So enough about traffic. Okay, so the next one I guess kind of goes with traffic. So the next one is there are a bunch of narrow roads, back roads. So if you think that you're gonna not drive on the highway, you're gonna take the back road. The back roads there's like hundreds of back roads that is one lane going in one direction, one lane going in the other direction. There's hardly no street lights. There's no sidewalk. There's it is like a lane and then a white line. So there's no curb or nothing. If you're no turn lanes, there's hundreds of streets like this. So if somebody's car breaks down, everybody else is just hit. Can't nobody go around or nothing. It's just hit. And when you look to the right of you or you look to the left of you, it's a freaking forest. There's more than enough room to put at least 2 lanes going in each direction. And there's more than enough money here to do it as well. All these people that have moved here over the last 20 years, the tax dollars have quadrupled. So the money is here. It's like they don't get it, you know. They think that they run the city like it's a small town, and it's just not. You know, there's no street lights, which goes into number 3. No street lights or sidewalks or curbs in a lot of places. Now, if you go to an area that is more recently developed, like maybe Marietta or Ellenwood or some of the outskirts, now they will have sidewalks and curbs and more than one lane and stuff like that. But the majority of Atlanta and Atlanta suburbs is still very, what I call country as hell. Very country, very backwards, and people ride around with their bright lights on, and which used to irk me, but now I get it. I understand why they do it, because they can't see. It's dark. Put some street lights up. You know, so that was actually my number 4, no street lights or sidewalks. Or my number 3, no street lights or sidewalks. Number 4, there are a lot of scammers and dishonest people. Yeah, sure, there's scammers and dishonest people everywhere, but it seems to be on the rise here. It used to be a lot of scammers in different countries and stuff, but there are a lot of scammers here, and you have to really be careful of who you talk to and what you tell people, because they are trying to figure out a way to get more money out of you. Even the car dealerships. I seem to find people with more honesty in Michigan. You know, down here, they'll sell you anything, and then when you come back to complain about it, they're treating you like you're crazy. They don't try to make anything right or try to. It's just I don't like that. You know, I like what you see is what you get. I don't like shades of gray. I don't like dishonesty and unloyal people, which also goes into dating. Some of the issues. Matter of fact, I've never had any of these issues that I've had dating down here. Everybody's on the come up. Everybody wants what you have. They don't have any integrity. It used to be the South was, people they had Southern hospitality and people were loyal and honest and hardworking. It is the complete opposite of that now. Everybody's on the come up. Everybody wants what you have, so they will lie, cheat, and steal to get it. Yeah, so that was number 4, a lot of scammers and dishonest people. Number 5. So I am originally from Lansing, Michigan, and owned a house outside of Detroit, and all through growing up, it was either Lansing or Detroit, Lansing or Detroit, Lansing or Detroit. So I'm very familiar with the Detroit fashion and culture sense. Um, they're just slow. They're excuse me. They're slow in fashion, and with me being 56 years old, I'm very accustomed to swagger, flavor, style. And when I first moved down here, what I considered to be dressed down, people were standoffish and looking at me like I was an alien, and I just did not fit at all. At the same time, I'm noticing that things that we wore in Lansing and Detroit 10 years ago, they're just now starting to wear. And it's played out to me. Um, yeah. So I don't, it's kind of embedded in me to look nice and dress nice and kind of be kind of fly, have that little swagger going on. And that's just my own, I'm not saying that that's for everybody, but we're talking about things I like and dislike. So I dislike the fact that they are slow in fashion. And just overall, just the way they think, period, is, I'm not saying they have a low IQ at all. It's just it's still the South, people. It is, when I say this is still the South, it is still the South. They are a lot slower than New York City, Chicago, Detroit, LA, and even Dallas for that matter. But they're a lot slower. Do not believe what you see on TV. What you see on TV is people that are rich. They're not living in Atlanta day to day. They're not dealing with traffic day to day. They're not following the social or cultural or fashion trends. They travel all over the country, all over the world. So they get their swagger from that. They do, I promise you, they do not get their swagger from here in Atlanta. I promise you that. Like I said, these people are international, they are rich, and that is not the reality for the majority of people that live here. So if you're thinking about moving here, you need to keep all of these things into considerations. As you do your research, you will find your likes and dislikes, and it's going to take more than one visit here. You're going to have to come, if you got family and friends, come stay with them for a week or, whatever. But make multiple trips here and figure out what you like and what you dislike. If you are between 30 and 40, oh, you're going to love it. It's not going to matter if you're rich or poor because there's so much to do here. You're going to be full of energy and life, and you'll love it. If you are 47 on up, maybe 50, and you're still working, you're not rich, you might want to think twice. It can be very hectic. 5 o'clock traffic is all day. There are times where it's a little slower. If you want to travel between 11, and this is mainly for truck drivers, between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., you can get through Atlanta very smoothly. But that is my video and blog for today. I hope that this was helpful and maybe even fun. But thank you for joining me. If you like it, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye.